One of the most common scenarios
and we're going to be talking about the Cairo.
You're going to get drunk that way? By all means do it.
Safety first, motherfucker.
Hey everyone, CJ back again with another Firearms Friday. Last couple of videos I've posted, I've been talking about your everyday carry in terms of what you need to have with you, different caliber types, and just the general mindset for the firearm that you're carrying with you. I also have stated that I carry a Glock 19 with me, but that's also for the winter months. With summer right around the corner, I wanted to get myself something a little bit slimmer, something that's not as prone to printing. And we all know by now that I'm a big Glock guy, so what I did was I went out and I picked myself a new firearm for me. Now, this firearm has been around for a little bit now, and I'd be lying to you if I told you I've never shot one before. But I really wanted to get myself a 9mm Glock 43. The reason why I chose this one over its smaller counterpart, the Glock 42, because I already have a bunch of 9mm rounds, and the less ammo I have to buy, the better off I'm going to be in the future. Now, when I originally shot this firearm, it was super snappy, which kind of sounds like an oxymoron coming from a 9mm, but when you have a shorter barrel on any kind of gun, you're going to have a lot more felt recoil out of it. Also, when you have a much shorter barrel, you're going to have a lot less accuracy. It just kind of goes out the window. So what I wanted to do today was share with you the unboxing and initial shots and impressions of my own personal Glock 43 now that I've carried it with me for about a week or so.
Alright, so if you've ever bought a brand new Glock before, you'll know that there's really nothing special about their boxes. It's a plastic box that comes with a bunch of stuff and a gun. That's pretty much it, and that's exactly what you get here. There's really nothing special about it. Inside the box, Glock 43s come with 2 magazines. They're both single stacked. They both have a capacity of 6 rounds. A really big difference between the two is one has a grip extension on it. It's not a round extender, it's just a grip extender, and it's great. I love it. The other one is just your standard flush magazine. Another thing you get is an easy loader. A lot of people like to use these to break in brand new magazines, but the magazines that come with the Glock 43, the springs on them, they're not that stiff. If you want to use it, great. I probably am going to end up throwing this one away or using it for some stipple practice. Obviously, you get a lock, a cleaning rod. There's a bore brush for your standard 9mm. It pretty much comes with everything you need to clean the firearm. The size is obviously the big reason why I decided to go with a Glock 43. I needed something a little bit smaller, a little bit more concealable, something that's not going to make me print as much when I'm carrying it here in the summer months. The Glock 43 is near pocket size. It is not exactly classified as a pocket pistol. You have an overall length of 6.26 inches, accompanying a barrel length of 3.39 inches. You have a total height of 4.2 inches, a standard width of 1.02 inches, and you have a sight radius which is quite small at 5.2 inches. The weight unloaded is 1.12 pounds and loaded is 1.39 pounds. This is right in the market of other guns in its class. Again, you're not going to be going shooting 3-gun, and you're not going to be holding off the Huns at the gates with this gun. I mean, if you are, great. You know, you're a much better shot than I am, and you trust it a little bit more, but for that kind of stuff, I'd go with my Glock 17. This gun is designed to be carried, and it honestly fits. Next, let's talk about fitment. Empty meaning there's no magazine. It's very small. It's very uncomfortable to hold. It cannot fit in my hand. My entire pinky is actually off of the firearm. There's no grip to it whatsoever. When I insert the flush magazine, you do have quite a bit of difference in the grip, but still only about a quarter of my pinky can fit onto it. I feel like if I were to fire this as is just with the flush magazine, that it would fly out of my hand, which obviously isn't very safe. But when I put the magazine grip extension in, about 90% of my pinky can fit on the grip, and this is absolutely wonderful. It's a complete night and day difference from even the flush magazine. I definitely plan on going out and getting myself another aftermarket grip extension and putting that one onto my flush magazine. If you guys want to see that, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. So when I bought this gun, I went to a shop that actually doubles as a shooting range. It's really convenient. You buy a gun, you get a chance to go shoot it there that day. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to shoot it that day because I was just a little bit too busy doing other things. But the shop did actually give me a free hour to go shoot my brand new Glock. So I think it was 2 days later, I went back to shoot it, and I brought 100 rounds with me. And my initial impressions were nothing really ecstatic about this gun. The targets I'm using are just your standard 100-yard sight-in targets that we'll kind of explore a little bit later here in the next couple of weeks or so. These targets are 14 inches square. So long as I was hitting paper, I was able to adjust and kind of shoot where I was aiming. I was happy if I hit the paper. That means that I killed the bad guy. I did notice that right off the bat, it shoots to the left, and that's a pang of being a right-handed shooter and left eye dominant. I did notice though that with this gun, I had to hold off further to the right than usual. I attribute that to the extremely short sight alignment. Obviously, the further your front sight and your rear sights are from each other, the more accurate your rounds are going to be. You just have a lot more to line up. Your gun will end up being pointed a lot straighter than with a small sight radius. So I used my first target to find out how the gun shoots. I didn't really focus on accuracy, and I really didn't care where I was hitting so long as there were safe shots going down range. As stated earlier, this gun is pretty snappy. You have a much shorter barrel, you're shooting a full-size round, and it's an extremely light frame. It's snappy for 9mm. It's not snappy for 40s or for 45s, but it is quite snappy for 9mm. I did notice as I was shooting this that I was having some minor malfunctions in the form of the slide failing to lock back. That was all me though, that wasn't the firearm itself. Because the frame is a lot smaller than what I'm used to shooting on, I had to kind of readjust my grip to stop my own palm from interfering with the natural function of the gun. My second target, I was a lot more focused on accuracy. And you can see here that there's clearly room for improvement, but remember, every single gun is different, especially when you're used to carrying compacts and full-size guns, and then you leap into a single stack subcompact. It's quite different. I definitely need more training on it. The third target I put out, I was a lot more focused on accuracy. I used my last 12 rounds that I had with me, and they all impacted in all the center circles, and I was aiming for right there in the center. I'm actually quite pleased with the final grouping, but clearly, again, I do need more improvement. Again, you do need to be training yourself about 50 rounds downrange per week in the gun that you plan on carrying. I'm right about there. I think as of right now, I have 150 rounds downrange, so I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. But as time goes forward, I definitely plan on shooting a little bit more and getting to know this brand new firearm a little bit better.
Well, everyone, thanks for sticking with me through another Firearms Friday. Again, these are all my personal opinions, and obviously in no way am I being paid by Glock to do this review, as a million other people have already posted one similar to, not similar to. exactly the same things that I've just said. Is the Glock 43 my favorite firearm to shoot? Absolutely not. But does that mean I'm going to trade it or sell it or never carry it? No, that doesn't mean that at all. Essentially, the Glock 43 is a completely different platform than what I'm used to carrying, so I need to train myself and hone in my skills on this specific platform. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions on anything that you've seen today, please leave a comment below. And if you have any suggestions for future Firearms Fridays, also please comment below. Remember, train safe, train right, train hard.